What's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, joined by Paul F. Villarreal. I just want to make sure that we're good here. We have a lot to talk about. Caitlin Clark, big win, big situation here with the NCAA women's title, and we just see that what's happened right there, and it looks like, yeah, we are good, we are alive, so we're good here. Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes have lost on the NCAA women's title situation, but she did great. Caitlin Clark did fantastic, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 13, 3 points. This is off of Fox Sports. Iowa loses to South Carolina, both 1 seeds, NCAA tourneys. It was 87-75, Paul, final. I know you are the basketball expert. You know a lot about this. And there's so much stuff. We're not just going to talk about the game. We really want to talk about what's next for Caitlin Clark. A lot of people have talked about her being the best ever, but some people are saying, hey, she needed a championship to be the best ever. Some people say, hey, stay in college here because she's a senior, but could she go that 5th year with the NIL? Could she get tens of millions or 20 million, or how much money is there? What about the WNBA? Some WNBA players have been talking some stuff right here. You are the expert. I'm going to turn it over to you. What's going on with Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, let me just say, for people who don't know, I've followed and covered the NBA well myself, although John and I have done sports media in the past. But I've covered the NBA. I've played basketball my whole life. I do know a lot about this. Many people on Twitter don't know that about me, so I'll tell you that right now. Look, here's what happened. South Carolina is a better team than Iowa is. And that's why South Carolina was favored in this game. Not only that, this was a revenge game for South Carolina because Iowa knocked them out of the tournament last year, I believe, when they also had a perfect record. South Carolina finishes this season 38-0. I mean, you're going up against an unbeaten team that has a great coach, and that's what happened. Caitlin, as you mentioned, was exceptional in this game, but it's a team game. And one thing that's very true on all levels of basketball, and I know as well, is a great team beats a great player. And that's what happened in this game. Now, you mentioned there have been players, particularly like legends and people that are in the WNBA or used to be the WNBA, saying she's not the greatest college player ever because she didn't win a championship. I definitely don't agree with that. She went to 2 finals in 2 years with a team that's really not that great.
Has a scoring title too. Has a scoring title. Broke that earlier this year.
She is right. Look, many people have said, and I agree with them, she's the best college player, female college player of all time. And I've never in my life seen a woman play the way she plays. She basically plays like Steph Curry. And I've never seen anybody play like that in the women's game. And congratulations to her. It reminds me of Larry Bird. Larry Bird, I believe, his last season in college with the Indiana State team, went to the championship, and he played against Magic Johnson and Michigan State. Well, Michigan State won because their team was better than Larry Bird was and the rest of the guys on the team. Nobody is going to say that Larry Bird was an unbelievable college player because he was. And of course, we know what Larry Bird became in the NBA. And so that's kind of how I look at this. I think I don't have any problem saying that she's the best college basketball player I've ever seen. And so I really don't have any issue with that. I also want to bring up something else very quickly.
Go ahead.
You mentioned about some of these other players kind of like talking smack about her and everything. And apparently it's coming from a number of like WNBA players, again, like, which is, where college legends go to play for women. Look, here's the deal. Caitlin Clark is getting eyeballs, which means, she's going to bring a lot more money to the game and to the league. If that was me, and when I was one of those players, I'd be the happiest person in the world because a rising tide lifts all boats.
Absolutely.
If she brings more eyeballs, you're going to get paid more.
Absolutely.
So I think I would tell those haters, cool out, appreciate what you got right now, and roll with it, and let's all make money.
Well, it's like The Rock. We have WrestleMania today. We might talk about that later. We're gonna and heads up, broadcasting note here. We're gonna hit some different topics in succession here, not in the same. We're gonna have this is gonna be its own clip. Then we're gonna do some other stuff. So stay tuned for that. And you talk about The Rock, and some people hate on The Rock. You talk about him coming back, or you talk about Brock Lesnar, and then people hate on Brock Lesnar. Oh, he doesn't travel. He just does WrestleManias and the big shows. Or you talk about Conor McGregor. Those are money makers. Floyd Mayweather. Those are people that put money, people in the seats. Caitlin Clark is that player. She is that breakout player, that breakout star that really people love to talk about. People talk about, Jordan. People talk about Shaquille O'Neal. People talk about Mamba. There are the problem. Ivan Allerson. Oh man, I can't.
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. I knew I had it reversed. I just couldn't get her. And there are certain players that people just want to see. People just want to see. And I think that definitely Caitlin Clark is one of them. I mean, look, quite frankly, and maybe this is somewhat of an analogous. I don't know. Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was someone that put people in the seats. Tim Tebow, phenomenal college player, couldn't make that transition. Really comes down to this, and we're at the 5-minute mark here, so we may want to go a few more minutes. What does she do next? There's so much money on the table, and she can keep racking up her stats in college to help enhance that credibility, that argument for being the best college female basketball player ever. Maybe the best basketball player ever in college, okay? That could be on the table too with another year. I mean, she's that dominant. What do you think about her staying in college? If you were her, you stay in college for that money, or do you go to the WNBA? Because we don't see that money yet right now in the WNBA, but could she be someone that transforms the WNBA into being much more commercially successful, as you're talking about?
I think she can definitely help transition to WNBA. Look, there are people out there who are saying right now, you should stay in college for another year, make a bunch of money off of licensing, and maybe you don't even need the WNBA. I think she's a competitor. I'm sure she'd love to have a college title, but it's on to bigger and better things. And if you are a serious competitor, you always want to go to the highest level, and the WNBA is a higher level than college basketball. And so my guess is she's going to move on and do it. And look, she's going to make money wherever she is, as she should, because like I said, she's an attraction, that period. And that's really what it is.
Love it, love it, love it. So much to talk about. Anything you want to say and wrap up here about the WNBA stuff and all that? When do you think we see a decision by Caitlin Clark? When do you think we hear that from her and the family?
She's already decided. She's already said it, that she's going to go. Now, of course, she could always, I guess, rescind that if she wanted. But just in closing, I'm like, look, appreciate greatness.
Absolutely.
We saw a great team in South Carolina today, and we have seen a great player in Caitlin Clark. And both things can be appreciated. And
Absolutely.
That's it.
And we do. Props to South Carolina for the national championship. Props to Caitlin Clark for being the top scorer in female basketball history. And I guess it's on to WNBA, but we'll find out. We'll see what happens there. I think there's a lot of attention, a lot of activity here, lots to talk about. Looking forward to your comments. Give us comments below. If you like this video, definitely please, subscribe, things like that. And we are on different platforms here, and we're going to be expanding the platforms. And also be sure to listen to my show on News Talk 1040 HBO out of Tampa, Florida. And that is tomorrow, 4 to 6. And Paul's always on the show as well. So we'll be doing that as well. But stay tuned. We're going to have more topics tonight. So thanks so much. So for Paul, I'm John. Thanks so much for watching. Congrats to Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes for a great season. Congrats to South Carolina for the big win. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.